Have it, Arsenal have finally announced the signing of Mikel Merino. This has been such a long wait. I'm not sure why Arsenal took so long to announce him, but he's here. We can finally enjoy him, and we can finally see potentially soon a midfield of Rice, Merino, and of course Martin Ødegaard. Let me know your thoughts on the signing, Gunners, because I feel like this is going to really transform us. I feel like Merino complements the midfielders we already have at the club, and it will just be nice to see him sort of, adjust to things quickly. And of course, I just watched the announcement video. I think it's actually quite a beautiful announcement video, kind of just showing again the togetherness at the club. I think that is really what Mikel Arteta is going for with these announcements. I feel like it's all sort of programmed. We saw it with Calafiori. There's no sort of special fancy things that we do in these announcement videos. It's just kind of this family feeling, kind of like bringing everyone together as a family, which is really nice. And Mikel Arteta has come out to say some comments. If you didn't know, these are the comments. He says, Mikel Merino is a player who will bring us huge quality with experience and versatility. He has played at the top of the game at both club and international level for a number of seasons now. Mikel will make our squad significantly stronger with his technical ability together with his strong and positive character. As we all saw in the summer, Mikel is also a winner with his strong performances throughout the Euros, helping Spain win the tournament. We are delighted to welcome Mikel and his family to the club, and I can't wait to start working with him. Finally, yes, welcome to the stream. I am Wasme. It is a big moment. Merino finally here, and I feel like we're going to be a real good side with him. I'm just so excited and happy that we finally got this over the line. Of course, I really want an attacker as well, but let's just enjoy the moment, enjoy Mikel Merino. I've already talked about him and how good he can be, ball playing ability, tackles, duels in the air. He's pretty much perfect, and he's going to complement Rice and Ødegaard really well. Yes, welcome Karingo Patrick. Finally, it's done and dusted. Finally done and dusted. Finally. We've been waiting so long. I don't know why Arsenal like to drag these things out, but yeah, look, the excitement for me is still there, even though Arsenal did drag it for so long, and I just can't wait. I just really want to see him, in the side, playing games, getting some minutes in. Hopefully we can see a little cameo from him against Brighton. Sabagi Edwards, sorry if I butchered this. That's great for us. Now let's go for Gyökeres, and now will be a good summer. Yeah, a striker, a winger on top of Merino would be great, but I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. I don't feel like we have the space in the squad to make these sort of signings, which is a big shame. But, I feel like at the start of the window, one of our priorities was definitely to get this quote-unquote Xhaka replacement. Merino is certainly that sort of Xhaka replacement. So I guess we can't really be, disheartened by the window if it ends like this, because Calafiori is a top player. Merino is, of course, a top player. We've got rid of Eddie, Smith Rowe, Lokonga. We've done some really good sales this summer. I feel like this summer was all about the sales. We've done good sales. I know it would be great if we could get a couple more out, the Nelsons, the Kiviors, but it's okay. I feel like Nelson, I wouldn't really doubt him. He's a really good player, Reiss Nelson, and I see a lot of our fans were kind of like not really showing enough respect towards Reiss Nelson. I know Adingra is a fantastic player. I've talked about him in a video the other day. But is he much of an upgrade on Reiss Nelson? Because let's remember how good Reiss Nelson can actually be. I feel like we just got to give him the opportunity. You can be the backup to Saka. Show us what you've got. And if it doesn't work again, then we definitely need to, get some winger in, his signing in. But yeah, Gyökeres, good player for sure. But I don't feel like there's going to be enough time in it at all to get someone of his caliber. So yeah, I don't know. Osimhen is on the market, of course, but I don't feel like Arteta wants to sign a striker. I feel he's already said he's happy with the striker signings. He's got the striker players he's got in the squad, so we shouldn't expect that sort of signing in. But yeah, I mean, a really good signing for us. I'm just really delighted coming in today. I hoped it was today that he would get announced, Merino, and it is. He gets the number 23 shirt as well, a nice number. I feel like he's always had the number 23 really across his career if 8 isn't available. So really good stuff there. And we finally have the Xhaka replacement. Finally somebody that can come in, do his stuff, show his quality for us in the midfield, passing, duels, all the really good stuff. Welcome Dan Edits. Yes, get in. Finally, it's just like this relief, isn't it, Gunners, that we finally get to see this guy announced. Now we can kind of look forward and see what's in store for us. Is there a surprise? Is there a Nico Williams surprise coming up, underway? Maybe. Either way, it's been a pretty decent window. I know we've all wanted a winger, striker, whatever, but we can't be disgruntled with what we have done already. And I'm just looking at the media stuff coming out. It's just beautiful to see how we announce things as a club. And yeah, we can definitely go for the big trophies. Premier League, Champions League. Our squad is good enough, bulky enough to go for all of those things. And of course, guys, make sure you have liked the stream. I would really appreciate it if you're in here. Quite a lot in there, so make sure you have liked it. Yes, we're winning the treble. Of course, dream big. This is what Arsenal is all about, dreaming big. We have the squad, we have the quality. Let us go and get the treble. Let's just go for every trophy. This is what it's all about. Get everything done, and yeah, just fantastic stuff. For me, I'm just so excited and happy for things. Welcome Gunnar to the stream. He is here. Yes, he is here. I can tell everyone's so excited. Mikel Merino. And I feel like he's the sort of player that a lot of us are going to be kind of shocked with. I know we always want the big names. I know there's been talk about Zubimendi, Neves that's gone to PSG. These are all fantastic players, but there's nothing better than the sort of player that comes in who's got a little bit of, not criticism around him, but nobody really knows which way to look. Is he going to be fantastic? Is he going to be a flop? I feel like this is the sort of signing which, there's no risk to it because we haven't got extremely high expectations. We all know he's a decent player, so he can kind of have this adjusting process. And I want to say one thing, Thomas Partey is still a fantastic player. Well, let's not forget that. We can't just get rid of Thomas Partey now Merino is here. I feel like Thomas Partey is going to have a massive role to play. But I do not like Declan Rice in the, sort of 8 position. I feel like he's wasted there. I would much, much rather, someone else is in the 8, a Merino, even an Nwaneri at this point, someone else in the 8 position so Declan can play 6. That is really, really good for me. And that's what I'm hoping because we have now a bulky midfield and really, really love the options. What number is he going to wear? He is going to be wearing the number 23. I'm trying to think who the last player to wear 23 was. I haven't quite got it on my head. I was kind of thinking he took Vieira's number for a minute and I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. But yeah, of course, if you didn't see, Vieira's left the club. Eddie is now doing his medical at Crystal Palace. I mean, it's all happening at Arsenal today. A lot of stuff is happening. And yeah, let's just hope we can finish this window really, really strong. I reckon we can. Arteta's got a plan. And that's the beautiful thing now. We're not just panicking as a club. Back in the past, we'd make panic buys. But now we're only doing buys if we're absolutely certain about it. And Merino is an example of that. Absolutely certain. If you didn't know, Gunners, we've actually been chasing Merino for such a long time. I think even when we were going for Thomas Partey, Merino was an option all the way back there in 2020. So it shows once Mikel Arteta has you as a target, he doesn't want to lose you. And it's this sort of obsession he has as a manager, which is just beautiful. He knows what he wants and he's going to keep on going for it as well. Also, some news that you may have missed. Aaron Ramsdale, seems like we're not going to get a sale for him, which is disappointing. And Jakub Kiwior is going to stay at the club as well, which, I mean, Kiwior's a fantastic squad member. He's a fantastic player, but is he going to be getting a lot of minutes? I don't know. But yeah, imagine if we can get Gyökeres this week or Nico Williams. Nico Williams, I would love him, but he is definitely staying for me. I do see zero chance of that happening. But again, people have said, a lot of people, ITK, The Athletic, of course, have said Nico Williams is actually is Arsenal's biggest target. They want to go for a surprise. They want to maybe test the waters with it, but I don't feel like there's enough time for, Atletico Bilbao to act on it. So I really, really don't think that's going to happen, which is a shame. But with Arsenal, we've just got to be confident with the ideas and what they've got planned. But yeah, we've got to be realistic with the options, definitely 100%. But who is realistic? Let me know in the comments if you are watching here. One winger that you would love Arsenal to sign. Put it down below. There's a lot of you in here. Make sure you have liked, of course. But let me know, what winger do Arsenal actually need? I'm just thinking, Nico Williams is an option. We've talked about him for a long time. Sancho. Yeah, I've seen a lot about talk about Sancho and him going to Chelsea. Is he the sort of player we need? I'm not sure. We kind of want the player that runs in behind. Sancho is a player that likes it, ball to feet. I don't feel like we need those sort of players. We need pace, energy, keeping on running in behind. Gyökeres last chance saloon. A lot of you love Gyökeres, but I don't see it happening. He's a great striker, but yeah, I don't feel like that is something for us. Just one forward is enough for the balance for the team. Definitely, if we can get one more forward, great. It will add a lot of balance to our squad for sure. I'm just thinking of the options. Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz, Jesus, Saka. That's 5 options. I do not feel like that's enough. We need one more body in the attacking line. Jesus, of course, I nearly forgot. We need one more body in there. I really wanted Yildiz at Arsenal. His value was 30 million, but he signed a new contract. Yildiz, I was watching him for the Euros for Turkey. A fantastic player, really, really gifted. And I do see him as a ball carrier, someone that can run. Really, really talented player, but of course he's staying at Juventus, I think it is. So unfortunately, that is not for us. I still believe in Martinelli. That is another thing. Gabriel Martinelli, guys. Let's not just give up on this guy. He's a quality player. He's just not used to playing that sort of role. Wide on the wing, hogging the touchline. That is not a Martinelli sort of game. And that's okay, Gunners. Sometimes we want to force players to be what they aren't. But Martinelli is an inside forward. He's best utilised in the box. When the ball is dropping to him, he's much better, tapping it into the net, sniffing the chances in and around the box. That's how you're going to get the best out of, Gabriel Martinelli. So, yeah, definitely believe in him because Merino, could you imagine Merino, Calafiori, all in and around Gabriel Martinelli? That would be absolutely fantastic. The rotations on show there. I mean, I just can't wait for it. Merino, Martinelli, Calafiori, or even Zinchenko. I know a lot of you don't like him, but Zinchenko is really good on the ball. I can see him switching with Merino and we can get the best out of him. But there's so much for us. Let's not give up on Martinelli. I definitely agree with you, Dan Edit. He's a fantastic player for sure. Big Blacker, welcome to the stream. He says, Yasser Asprilla. Done a video on him before. I feel like he's a talented player, but I saw a report he's on his way to Girona. I don't know if that's true. It might have been Fabrizio Romano actually that reported it, so it's obviously quite reliable. So you know what route that means. He's going to be on his way to City in about 3 years' time. But of course, City know how to operate. Yasser Asprilla, obviously a fantastic baller and a really good player. I've admired him. Can cut in, shoot, really, really good. But yeah, some really, really, really good players there, you've said. But of course, believe in Martinelli, Gunners. Victor Nwanachu, sorry if I butchered that. Pedro would have been the best option, but he is now a Chelsea player. Pedro Neto, yeah, he's a really, really good player, to be honest. I was quite disappointed when the news first broke that Chelsea signed him. He's always somebody that I thought, okay, he can play as a backup to Saka. He can play on the left wing as well. He gives you that versatility and options on both wings. But I kind of think, is he actually better than Martinelli? Am I wrong in saying that? I don't think Pedro Neto at his best is kind of, on that sort of level of Gabriel Martinelli. I know it sounds silly. A lot of you won't, be agreeing with me, but I feel like Gabriel Martinelli is actually at his best better than Pedro Neto at his best. So that sort of signing, maybe that's what Mikel Arteta was thinking. Why get a player who is so similar to Gabriel Martinelli? They kind of have the same dribbling of looking down as well. So yeah, I kind of get why we didn't go in for him. And 60 million euros, I think 60 million pounds actually was how much he cost, which is quite a lot. What position does Andros Olsen play? Just heard rumours of him joining Arsenal. Yeah, I've looked into him and he seems like a really, really good player, to be honest. I feel like he's the sort of player that's just ball striking, though. Pure ball striking, get the ball on the wing and just curl on into the top corner. And sometimes you need those sort of players to unlock opposition. So I wouldn't be against that sort of gamble. I don't know how much it would cost, but yeah, definitely. Bamidele, David, welcome to the stream. Just joining the broadcast. Has Merino been unveiled? Yes, he has. Arsenal official has actually announced it. He is done. Finally announced. Merino is an Arsenal player. Fantastic stuff. If you are just joining and you haven't seen Arsenal.com or gone to the Arsenal website, he's been announced. Number 23. Really, really good stuff. We are all excited. Dan edits, if we play Havertz in the cam with a 3-4-3 diamond and bring in a finisher, we could cook. Definitely, and that's another thing. Arsenal play a lot of formations. They have a lot of variety in the game. I think us as fans, we're a bit too basic with formation. I feel like Arteta does tweak the formation a lot in the game. Sometimes you'll see Havertz, sort of in the 8 role, even when he's playing number 9. Then Trossard will come centre forward. There's a lot of rotations about, and that's just how Mikel Arteta likes to operate. He loves his players moving about, and it kind of does make sense, to be honest, that 3-4-3 diamond. It was definitely maybe something that we could see from Mikel Arteta. Aliou Suledoun, welcome to the stream. Need a striker and get someone that can be a sub for Bukayo Saka. Definitely, that is the big thing for me. Get somebody that can be a rotation for Bukayo Saka. We've already seen Nelson kind of coming on for Saka in the last couple of games. Kind of maybe Arteta saying, look, I'm looking for that sort of player, kind of crying out to the board here. Look, this is the sort of change I'm having to make. Let's go and get someone that can actually be a viable backup for Saka. But that's no disrespect to Reece Nelson, who I think is really, really good. What position does Andreas Olsen play? I heard rumours of him joining Arsenal. He is a right winger, left-footed, typical winger, cut in, shoot. A really, really talented player, to be honest. Don't know much about him, but I've seen he does love to strike the ball. He's not better than Gabriel Martinelli? Yes, I definitely agree with that. He's definitely not better than Gabriel Martinelli. Gunnar, what about Gabriel Carvalho? Is he coming? Oh yeah, that Brazilian talent, Gabriel Carvalho, really, really good player, to be honest. I've seen stuff about him in Brazil. But again, how many times have we gone to Brazil and it been successful? Of course, Martinelli was successful, but I'm just thinking of Marquinhos. Where is he now? I mean, Marquinhos isn't even nowhere to be found at this stage. And I mean, do we really want to be taking some punts out there? I'm not sure. But of course, yeah, Gabriel Carvalho, I've heard about him, a decent player, really young. He's still really young. Maybe need to give him some time to develop out there in Brazil. Bamidele David, thanks bro, you're welcome. I still hear Arsenal are pushing hard to sign Nico and Gyökeres at the same time. I don't think it will be both, although I would love to be, in the same boat as you, kind of really confident for the signing of Nico and Gyökeres at the same time. But even if we were to get an attacker, it would only be one attacker, and I feel like it's definitely going to be a winger. Arteta has the trust in Havertz and Jesus to lead the line, and of course Trossard, who can play centre forward too. Ayeknel Beauty Studio, nice one, thank you. Aliou Saladoun, is Arsenal bidding for Osimhen? I am butchering the names, I'm sorry guys. But Arsenal and Osimhen, I don't think it's going to happen actually. I've read a story from quite a reliable journalist that Arsenal actually had a meeting with Victor Osimhen, and it didn't go well at all. They didn't like his attitude. He's just got not the sort of attitude you want to bring into Arsenal, and that's fair enough, to be honest. If a player isn't gonna impact the atmosphere at the club right now, which is really, really positive, then what's the point of signing him? And I think Arteta is at that sort of stage now where you can be a really, really good player, but if your attitude and the way you go about things isn't good, I'm not gonna sign you. And I don't know if I agree with that policy at times, because sometimes you've got to take the risk. Even if a player's attitude isn't great, you're going to just miss out on good players if you're constantly thinking about how you are as a person rather than a player. We need that X-Factor attacker, and Osimhen would certainly be that X-Factor attacker. So I really, really do hope we can get someone, not just off the basis of their attitude, but of their quality, because we certainly need a quality attacker in there. Who could be a striker to buy? In terms of centre forward, I don't know. I don't know what sort of striker we can really get at the minute. That's not going to be overly expensive. Obviously, Xerxes was an option at the beginning of the window, but obviously he's gone to Manchester United. I don't know, Arsenal have really got a big thing to do. I know Evan Ferguson has actually been one of our top targets with Isak. Isak is another one. I saw the comment in there. We need a player like Isak from from Dan Edit, sorry. Yes, Isak has been a player that Arsenal have been really, really liking for a really long time. Arteta is a massive, massive fan of him, and I can kind of see it, I can see why Arteta would want someone like Isak. He can play on the wing, he can play centre forward as well, so it does make sense in that sort of way, and he would cost around 80 million, and it's kind of worth it for a player who can rotate both at striker and left wing for sure. Yeah, Osimhen already said, I do feel like he's a quality player, but again, his attitude isn't great, apparently. Saludine says, nice one, bro, thanks for the update. You're welcome. Watkins, Evan Ferguson, yes, Dan Edits, I agree. Really, really good strikers, really good centre forwards, and players that, I don't know, can they shift onto the wing though? I don't think so, and that's what Arteta is looking for again. He loves you if you are a striker, but if you can't play multiple positions, he's not going to be interested in you. So I don't think Arteta is going to make a move for a player who's just going to only play in centre forward. We need a striker, a ball strike. We need a clean striker of a ball type of striker. Yes, I definitely agree. We need a player who can strike through a ball. I feel like Havertz is fantastic, but he's so frustrating when he's in on goal. He just can't get the power on the shots. He just can't really generate the sort of fizz we need up front. But he does make up for it with a lot of his game, and I feel like he's going to constantly improve. If we keep playing Havertz up front, he's going to keep on improving. He's going to improve his striking of the ball. He's just going to become a better player, because obviously the more minutes you play, the better you come, and I feel like that's the thing with Havertz for sure. He'll get cleaner with his ball striking once he has the experience playing up there. What happened to Vlahovic? Vlahovic, I feel like that's just completely gone, to be honest. He wants to stay at Juventus, and rightly so, to be honest. He's comfortable there. I always remember that Vlahovic saga. It was such a pain. Apparently, he was actually open to coming to us, but of course, Juventus was his first sort of option, so nothing happened in the end. But he's a quality striker as well, but is he even really a massive upgrade on Kai Havertz? I'm not sure, to be honest, and I feel like that's the massive thing. If you're suggesting a striker, are they a massive, massive, massive upgrade on, a Kai Havertz? Because that's what we need right now. We can't get players on the similar level of the squad we already have. It's about raising that ceiling rather than raising the floor. Did you hear about Szczesny retired? Yes, I did see that, and it is quite sad, actually. Szczesny, of course, was quite a decent goalkeeper. I think he got a lot of stick because of, I don't know, I just feel like Arsenal fans, we are quite an emotional bunch, to be honest. We give a lot of stick to players when I feel like we got to like kind of calm down. Szczesny was a pretty decent keeper. He always loved us, and it was always nice to see his sort of, you know, live streams at Juventus, still taking the mick out of Tottenham Hotspur for sure. Jake Spectrum's a versatile forward is what we need. Yeah, Gyökeres. I've seen Gyökeres a lot in this chat. A lot of you seem to love Gyökeres a lot. He is a goal scorer. I get why you would love him, but, you know, it's a big risk taking a sort of player out of Portugal. We've seen it with Darwin Núñez. I'm not saying that Gyökeres is on the same sort of level as Darwin Núñez, but it is a big risk. We need someone that is proven from multiple leagues and, you know, got the experience of playing in the biggest of stages, Champions League nights. And Gyökeres, I don't feel like is quite at that level, but who knows? Maybe bringing him into Arsenal, he'll just improve as a player. Ruined by Motta. Who is that? Oh, who do you feel like is ruined by Motta? Is it Szczesny? I feel like he left there on a free though. Rafinha. Yes, Rafinha is a fantastic winger. Been a big fan of him at Barcelona, but I don't feel like he's going to leave, to be honest. And Barcelona would be really dumb to sell him as well. David says the midfielder combo of Rice, Merino and Ødegaard is awesome because Captain Fantastic and Merino once played together at Real Sociedad. Yes, that is true. That is very true indeed. That is what Mikel Arteta is looking for. Players that have sort of relationships on the pitch and off the pitch. Is kind of, you know, I'm not even surprised, to be honest. He already saw how they linked up at Real Sociedad, and he clearly thinks, you know, coming to Arsenal, they can develop that relationship again and kind of help us to that title. So yeah, I feel like that was definitely intentional. A really good midfield now, and I feel like we'll see the best of Rice back in the number 6 position. Bro, if we get Isak, we don't need to worry about chemistry. He has played with Ødegaard and Merino. Definitely, and that is one of Arteta's things. He really wants chemistry. He really wants his players to have a lot of chemistry, and I feel like bringing in somebody like Isak kind of ticks all the boxes. He's got a massive, you know, great mentality. He's a great player. He's got chemistry already in the squad. And I feel like we definitely will have Isak, as one of our top striker targets next summer for sure. Motta kicked Szczesny out the club. Yeah, I feel like he wasn't happy with his ball-playing ability, to be honest. Motta really does love ball-playing players. Yes, Merino is number 23. Which do you feel Arteta's go-to midfield lineup will be? Now, this is interesting. This is really interesting because we've obviously seen Thomas Partey scoring a goal. I don't feel like Mikel Arteta wants to take him out and ruin his rhythm and momentum. So I feel like for the next, 2-3 games, we're going to see Partey, we're going to see Ødegaard, we're going to see Rice as the sort of midfield trio. And that's okay. That'll do. But when we go to Tottenham, when we go to Manchester City, we cannot play with Thomas Partey in the midfield. I love him to bits. I feel like he's a fantastic player. But the jewels and athleticism of Merino is much better than Thomas Partey in this moment of time. I know, I get it. There's a lot of disrespect to Thomas Partey, but Merino is so much better suited to the Tottenhams, to the Manchester City aways, and it allows Declan Rice to play in the 6th, his most comfortable position. So that's what I feel like is going to happen for sure. Merino, Ødegaard and Rice will be the settled 3. Martinelli left wing, striker Havertz, right wing Saka, obviously. Left back is going to be Jurriën Timber, guys. I really do feel like Jurriën Timber is the first choice left back for us, definitely, with the ability to come in midfield and also just the defensive ability of him as well. Then, of course, Gabriel Saliba and then Ben White at right back with Raya in goal. That's definitely what Arsenal and what Arteta is going to go for. Did you ever watch the Liam Brady documentary, Arsenal Legend? I haven't, to be fair. I need to start getting into documentaries, to be honest, of Arsenal players. I feel like that would be good. And I see a lot of, people complimenting these documentaries that are out there. So definitely got to start binge watching a couple of them. I'll definitely add that to the recommended. I think Trossard is happy about Merino coming to Arsenal because when they announced Merino, Trossard was smiling. Trossard, to be honest, I don't know, people were kind of taking his celebration too far. They were really emotional about it, which was such a shame. Sometimes players get frustrated by being on the bench. Obviously, Trossard feels himself as a fantastic player. But, Arteta makes a decision. He plays Martinelli. You then come off the bench and you score. Obviously, you're going to want to, give it back to Arteta a bit and be like, like this, all up in the cameras. Because apparently another thing is Trossard is a player that is always in the dressing room. knocking on Arteta's door. Sorry, he's always knocking on Arteta's door, asking why I'm not playing. I want to be playing. My form is good. Always questioning. You remember, I don't know if you guys saw the Tottenham documentary, Danny Rose. Apparently, Trossard is the same as Danny Rose in that when he wants to play, he'll come with all these sort of datas and sort of stuff and be like, look, you're playing this player, but my form is better. Why? I want to be playing. I want to know. I need to know why. And to be fair, that's what makes a top professional. Always wanting to play for sure. Isak is just as injury prone as Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, Isak is quite injury prone, but I feel like the rotations we had in our squad, he won't be playing every single game, to be honest. I feel like there'll be a lot of rotation. So I don't feel like we need to worry about that too much. Show us a lineup you would use against Brighton for sure. In goal, Raya. Right back, Ben White, of course. Saliba, Gabriel. Left back, let's just go with Julian Timber again. I thought Calafiori was really, really impressive. But for sure, I feel like Timber has to be left back. Midfield, Declan Rice, Partey and Ødegaard. I almost got too excited there, already putting Merino in the side. But yeah, I'll stick with the same three that played against Aston Villa. I feel like that is fair. Then left wing, Trossard for sure. Striker, Havertz. And of course, right wing, Bukayo Saka. Welcome home, Mikel Merino. Yes, Bethel, welcome home. He is finally home. Dan Edits, yeah, Julian Timber, of course, will definitely be the one starting at left back for me. Dan Edits is called The Irishman Abroad if you need it. Yes, thank you very much. I'll definitely look into that, The Irishman Abroad. Joseph says, welcome in the house, Mikel. Yes, welcome in the house, Mikel. Another Mikel into the squad. And we're obviously quite, increasing the amount of Spanish people in the squad, which is obviously quite nice. Mikel Arteta will be quite happy. He seems to have this sort of bond with a lot of players from Spain, which of course you would expect. Jamal says, Martinelli needs to really turn it on this year. I love him, but something isn't right. Yeah, Martinelli, it's just all about confidence, to be honest. When players have no confidence, they tend to struggle. And I feel like if Merino is there, if Timber is there and Martinelli is still struggling, then it's got to be up to him. You can't change the whole left side to suit Martinelli and he's still struggling. He's got to kind of look at himself and be like, why am I struggling? Is this a me problem? I need to work harder potentially. I need to go to manager. Maybe a position change to centre forward now. Maybe the squad has moved past him at left wing. Or maybe Arteta needs to reevaluate the system as a whole and see Martinelli rather than a touchline winger, but someone that comes inside. There's just a lot of question marks, to be honest. Still quite a lot of you in here. Make sure you have liked the stream, goodness. Thank you so much for a lot of you being in here. Of course, the excitement is high for Mikel Merino. We've been waiting so long for this, but yeah, make sure you have liked the stream. Let's get those likes up. But yeah, let me know, guys. Mikel Merino, would he definitely go straight into the lineup? Would you drop Thomas Partey? What's the thinking, to be honest? Because a lot of Arsenal fans are debating it. I've done polls on my Instagram before. People have been like, Thomas Partey is much better than Mikel Merino. And I mean, it's a big debate. But once we see Mikel Merino in the side in that left number 8 position, I feel like that is where we can kind of have this sort of viewpoint and kind of come together and be like, yes, this guy is good enough. He's better than Thomas Partey. We need to make this sort of decision. We need to do this. We need to do this. But for sure, for now, Thomas Partey, for me, keeps his place in the side because I feel like he is still quality. If we have the ball, if we're defending against a team that's on the transition a lot, then I don't feel like, we should definitely sign him. There's some news just coming in here. Wolves unlikely to go for Aaron Ramsdale. And apparently, Saints' move for Bigelow is off. So maybe Russell Martin will come back for Aaron Ramsdale and we can see that deal finally happen. Ramsdale will finally get his, sort of move because he's been waiting for a while. We can't have him on the bench. He's too good of a player not to be playing any minutes. Gunnar says, I think Mikel might ruin Martinelli because he's trying to make him like Saka, cutting back and crossing, stretching the field, and Martinelli is a player. Yeah, Martinelli is much better utilised inside the pitch. He's much more comfortable, inside the pitch doing that. So it's up to Mikel Arteta. What does he want to do? How does he want to change the things? Does he really want to change the system to suit one player? Because obviously Trossard has been in some fantastic form recently. So it's got to be, it's always with Mikel Arteta like this. It's my way or no way. And I feel like that's how the best sort of managers operate. If you're not suiting my system, I can easily replace you, can easily put you out the side. And that is fair play, to be honest, for Mikel Arteta. If you're going to be one of the best managers in the world, you have to be stubborn. And he certainly is. Dan Edit says, mate, how do you feel about Patino leaving to Deportivo La Coruña? Yeah, Patino, I've always liked him as a player, to be honest. I just feel like his loan spells just haven't been great at all. A lot of people used to say he's the best academy talent to come out of Arsenal. But obviously things haven't worked out. I feel like he'll still come around though. I feel like he'll still have a really, really good career. And we may actually see him back at Arsenal. He's just that good of a player. You can't lose the ability he had overnight for sure. He's definitely going to shine where he's gone in the second division. I think it is in Spain. So for sure, Patino, for me, I always, sort of loved him as a player. And he can really, really, really still develop his career even though he has left. Maybe we should make a chant for Martinelli to bring back his confidence. I think there is actually a chart for Martinelli, and it is actually so annoying because I'm trying to remember it. But yeah, there is definitely a chart for him, but I don't feel like we've sung it a lot in the games, to be honest. I feel like it's more of an away day sort of song when you're queuing up for a game sort of thing. You won't really see it in the ground. I don't think it's caught on in the ground as much. Thought he'd become a legend. Yeah, everyone at Arsenal and around really did think Charlie Patino would become a really, really good big player. But obviously things haven't worked out. That's how football is. Arteta is a ruthless person. If you aren't good enough, unfortunately, you definitely have to go. And that's just how big clubs stay big at the end of the day. And I know that Patino will definitely still become a quality player because, like I said, you don't lose that quality overnight. Jamal says, I think we need to keep Partey in the team, at least until he drops off. I rate him massively. He was better than Rice for tackle and interceptions before his injury. He needs more games. Better than Rice? That's also been another internal debate between Arsenal fans. As a pure 6, who is better, Rice or Thomas Partey as a pure number 6? That is one of the things that I've always thought about. But I feel like there's a lot of disrespect to Thomas Partey, because before his injury, he was considered one of the best 6s in the league. It was always a debate between him and Rodri for who is the best number 6. And obviously, Partey's injuries, losing his athleticism has really, really affected him as a player. But of course, Partey was at such a high level before all those injuries, which is a massive shame. But he's still a quality player that will contribute a lot this season. And yeah, we do need to keep him in the side until he sort of drops off. I think that is only fair. I think Gyökeres is best up front for us this season because we need a striker who's feared by defenders, says DJ Blast. Yeah, but can we not believe in Havertz? Do we believe in Havertz, Gunners? I don't know. It's kind of a mixed thing with a lot of our Gunners. Do we really believe in him as a striker? I feel like he'll be good enough for us this season for sure. He can strike through into attack, into defenders, definitely. And I feel like this season is big for Havertz to kind of show how good he is. And of course, I've got him on the back of this beautiful away kit. Last question here, Gunnar, before I end the stream. What I like about Partey, and would confidently say he is better than Rodri at his first time shooting. He's better than Rodri at first time? Yeah, I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Partey's really good, but his shots at times can just go way over the bar. But obviously, his all-round game sometimes, when he's at his top level, he is a top player. But anyway, Gunners, I feel like that is how I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much for being in here. Finally, Mikel Merino has been announced. Make sure you have liked before you do leave the stream. Really, really nice to see so many of you in here. And until next time, peace.